Right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Another year and another baseball season of the Pittsburgh Pirates being sellers at the trade deadline. Brian Hayes getting shipped to the Cincinnati Reds and David Bednar going to the New York Yankees are just some of the moves that the Pirates made as they picked up some more prospects, which is less than comforting to the baseball fans in Western Pennsylvania. After three straight postseason appearances for the Pirates from 2013 to 2015, they're right back to where they were following Barry Bonds' departure after the 1992 season. The Pirates are well on their way to their ninth losing season in the last 10 years and their second consecutive last place finish in the National League Central. Now, you ask yourself, are the Pirates better or worse than they were when Ben Cherington became this franchise's general manager? His first season was 2020, the shortened 60 game MLB season. Pirates only went 19 and 41. Two consecutive 100 loss seasons for Pittsburgh in 2021 and 2022. They lost 86 games in the last couple of years, and of course, their 12 and 26 start this year led to the firing of head coach Derek Shelton. But honestly, at the end of the day, Derek Shelton really wasn't given a lot to work with. And of course, like I said before, the Pirates, they still have not won 50 games this season. And they are well on their way, like I said, to finishing in last place in the National League Central once again. And I mean, the thing is, I don't know how Ben Cherington continues to keep his job with Pittsburgh because he's done less than nothing, okay, during his stewardship of this franchise. And I think it's a joke. You got Pirates fans out there who want the team's principal owner, Bob Nutting, to sell. And I mean, Bob Nutting's track record with Pittsburgh is worse than that of Ben Cherington's. We're coming up on about 20 years now of Nutting being the principal owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. And what has he done? They're a joke. I mean, there's no nice way to spin it. There's no, I mean, you could have all of the adjectives that you want to describe it, but the bottom line is Bob Nutting doesn't care about winning. Bob Nutting doesn't care about the Pirates. Bob Nutting doesn't care about his fan base. And honestly, it's sad. Why? Because believe it or not, there was a time when the Pittsburgh Pirates were one of the best franchises in baseball. And this is an organization that has a long and storied history of success. And it's one of those where baseball fans, the younger baseball fans, really don't know anything about it unless they look it up on the internet. I mean, you're talking about a Pittsburgh franchise that has five World Series championships, nine National League pennants, and of course, two of their World Series championships came in the 1970s in 71 and 79. Both times they beat Baltimore. But you think about it, some of the great names in baseball history that have played for the Pirates organization over the years. You think about the likes of Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, Roberto Clemente, Ralph Kiner. I mentioned Barry Bonds and Honus Wagner. They're just some of the legends, okay, that have played for the Pirates over the years. But outside of Andrew McCutchen, what are the Pirates given their fan base to get behind for the last 30 years? I mean, you've got Paul Skeens right now, who is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Nobody is going to argue that, okay? The Pirate fans get to see him pitch once a week, and that's probably Pittsburgh's best and only chance to win a ball game for the week. And even when it's all said and done, when Skeens is out there on the mound, he could be dealing, but it's not a guarantee that the Pirates are going to give him enough runs to even get a decision because a lot of times, more often than not, he gets a no decision. Yes, the Pirates are a small market team. Nobody's gonna, deny that. But I've said this before consistently, and I'm going to say it again. Being a small market team does not prohibit you from going out there and being competitive, developing your talent, and having yourself a system. And right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates have not done that for quite some time. I guarantee you, okay, that if Bob Nutting continues to own the Pirates, which he will, He's going to sit up there and he's going to hide behind the gauge that his Pirates need a salary cap in order to compete. But the Pirates are one of those teams that honestly, having a salary cap in Major League Baseball, and I know some of the owners are pushing for it right now, but nonetheless, having that salary cap ain't going to change much as long as Bob Nutting continues to own his franchise. Why? He simply doesn't care. And of course, you ask yourself, is there any hope for Pirates fans? And honestly, there's not a lot. Being the as long as Bob Nutting is going to own this team, and it's unfortunate because Pittsburgh is a great sports town. There's a lot of sports lineage there. Okay, PNC Park is one of the greatest parks in Major League Baseball. Okay, and I'll tell you I'll say anybody to anybody face to face. If you have an opportunity to go to PNC Park, definitely put it on your bucket list of MLB parks to visit. It's one of the best. The atmosphere is nice. It's true to its form. There's not a bad seat in the house. There's a lot of good eats there. A guy like me definitely enjoys that. And like I said, the atmosphere is phenomenal. Pittsburgh fans want to see a winner. Pittsburgh fans want to see a contender. And at the end of the day, they deserve it. They don't deserve to have themselves an owner like Bob Nutting who really doesn't care. And I think the proof is in the pudding by the product that he has consistently put it out there year after year after year for this Pirates organization. It is truly disgusting. Nothing is going to change as long as he owns that team. I think it would be in the best interest of Major League Baseball to have the Pirates run by somebody else. But at the end of the day, Rob Manfred is not going to push, the envelope with Bob Nutting. Why? Because he's more concerned about, force feeding, baseball down the throats of the people in Vegas, which they really don't want. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. But again, like I said before, it is a darn shame that the Pirates continue to be run like they're run. Bob Nutting is not only bad for the Pirates, he's also bad for the city of Pittsburgh. He's also bad for baseball. At this point, I really don't know how Ben Cherington continues to have a job running the front office in Pittsburgh. But when you put all of those things together and mix it in a pot, this is why the Pittsburgh Pirates are who they are. This is why the Pittsburgh Pirates continue to be sellers at MLB's trade deadline. This is why the Pittsburgh Pirates continue to frustrate their fan base. And this is why the Pittsburgh Pirates will continue to look at the contenders pass them by in baseball. You look at it, I know that the St. Louis Cardinals basically just threw in the towel at the break, but everybody else, for the most part, they're showing life in the National League Central. The Cubs and Brewers are duking it out. The Cardinals are probably going to take a step back after all of the trades that they just sold off just prior to the trade deadline. But the Cardinals are still going to be competitive. You look at the turnaround for the Cincinnati Reds under first year and veteran head coach or veteran manager rather, Terry Francona, and then you got the Pittsburgh Pirates. What are they doing in Pittsburgh? Nobody knows, and it's sad. That's the bottom line. So hopefully, for Pirate fans, there could be some relief along the way. But like I said, it's more than likely wishful thinking. Bob Nutting is going to continue to ruin this franchise. And like I said, it is absolutely pathetic. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, if you're liking what you saw and heard on this edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast, you know what to do. Just hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it is greatly appreciated. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, I will give you that follow right back. And the same goes for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can check us out at the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports debating groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off and I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.